Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. It is July 21st and I've been doing this Beat Inflation Pantry challenge for the month of July, and I will go to the end of the month. And our garden is just rocking and rolling. We have lettuce coming out of our ears right about now, and I'm finding creative ways to use lettuce. So I've picked a big basket of lettuce this morning, and I'm going to show you a couple of ways. We're going to use it up in different things, mostly salads, but I'm going to show you a couple of different other ideas to beat inflation and save you money. So the first salad I'm doing has salmon on the top. So that broth or that water that's on that salmon, I'm actually going to save it in my ice cubes. And I do this for chicken, for fish, for everything. And I'm going to save it, freeze it, and then I'm going to put it in a sandwich bag. And as soon as I have enough of that fish broth, in this case, I can put it in any kind of dish. I'm going to make a sort of fish chowder, and that's going to help with the flavor. And again, I do this with chicken if I have too much chicken, or even water off of vegetables. You can reuse that water to flavor your dishes. So this is the salad that I made from garden items. There's lettuce in there, there's spinach in there, there's arugula, there's I have a salad mix that has arugula, different lettuces in it, and that's what I've used to make this salad. And this is how I'm utilizing my pantry for this pantry challenge to beat inflation. Utilize your pantry, utilize your garden, use what you have up in your house before you go out and spend money on different things. So for dinner this night, I utilized my pantry. There is home canned potatoes from last year's garden. There is sausage that I home canned. There's peppers from last year's garden that I home canned. Everything that you see here in this one skillet meal came from my pantry in one form or another. So this is just a quick look at my garden spaces. This is how we're utilizing our gardens to beat inflation and do this pantry challenge for July. And basically, this is how I cook anyway. 9 times out of 10, I am pulling from things that are already in my pantry to make my dinners, lunches, and breakfasts for my family. And this is how I cook anyway. I don't normally just run out, get something, and come back home and cook it. If I find a great deal on, say, meat, for instance, I would come home and can it, and then I would put it in rotation, use what I have in my pantry before I use what I just bought. So another great way to beat inflation is learning to cook from scratch. These are ribs that I took out of the freezer. I made a marinade, and I'm going to put them in my pressure cooker, and then we'll put them on the grill. Another way to beat inflation is learning to bake. And this doesn't have to be something grandiose. Just like maybe here I made a brownie. We have a sweet treat probably about once a week or so, and we definitely have a sweet tooth in our house. So making our breads and cookies and cupcakes, brownies at home for a lot less, and probably a lot less preservatives and everything going into them that you would say get at the grocery store or even your local bakery. I know you should support local and everything, but if I can make it at home for less and know exactly what's going in it, I'm going to do it. And we really like chocolate. Well, the rest of the family likes chocolate in the house. I'm probably a vanilla person more than I am a chocolate. But making your own sweets at home can save you a lot of money, and that's another skill you will have going forward. So learn how to bake from scratch at home. So cooking from scratch and also baking from scratch are two skills that's going to help you beat inflation. So on this harvest day, I pulled kale from the garden, and it's a big basket of kale, and I'm going to wash it up. Now at this point, I can do one of two things. Three things really. I could can it, I could freeze it, or I could use it right away. I'm going to wash this up and actually freeze it. So this night for dinner, I made a plate on Cobb salad. There are radishes, lettuce, eggs from the pantry. I browned up some chicken in a little bit of spices right in a frying pan and cooled it and put it right on top. And this was my plate on Cobb salad for tonight's dinner. So out in the garden, I got my first fairly large pepper. I picked some basil and some parsley. So since it's so hot here, I do not want to be standing around in a hot kitchen. So I think I'm going to make a pasta salad. That should be quick and easy. So all I did was just chop up my basil and my parsley. And I've also chopped up my green pepper. I've made a homemade mayo. And then I went down in my pantry and got some ham. Now here's my pasta. I actually used the water off my ham in my pasta to flavor that. So while that's cooking, I'm going to get this together. So I didn't have any onions left over from the garden, and I don't have any store-bought in the house because we haven't been grocery shopping. Not for that anyway. And for the month of July, we're doing this Beat Inflation Pantry Challenge, and we're using everything that we have in our pantry, and for us, what we have in our garden coming out. So in this case, I'm using chives instead of onions. In my pasta salad, I've got everything else there all chopped up and ready to go. So I'm just going to chop up these chives, and that will give us a little bit of that onion taste. So I've got my pasta cooling in the fridge so I can get this done, but I thought it might need a bit more color. See, I've got all the spices and the green pepper that I had, and the parsley, the fresh parsley and the fresh basil. But I thought it needed a little bit more color, so I went in my cool room, pulled out some hot peppers that I had from 2021, and they're red. So I'm gonna chop some of those up and put them in here, not too hot, because we want the kids to eat it. So yeah, so I'll chop a few up and put them in there just for color. Hopefully they won't notice it too much. And there it is, the pasta salad ready to go. The pasta is nicely cooled. I mixed it all together. And I mean, you could add other things to this if you want to add some like canned carrots, or even some canned corn, some other peppers, or whatever you want to add in it. You can definitely make this obviously your own with whatever ingredients you want in the pasta. I've done it with turkey before. What else have I done it with? I've done it with chicken. Tonight it's ham, because we had chicken last night. But yeah, so just make it what you have in your pantry to beat inflation. So at the last minute, I decided to add a can of corn to it, and it stretched it. I've already started dipping up, serving dinner, so I just wanted to show you before it's probably all gone. It's probably not going to last us more than tonight, but yeah. So since I didn't have a veg, I decided to just put the corn in, and that's our veg. And we're going to enjoy this simple pantry pasta salad. So that's how we are beating inflation. Buying on sale, cooking at home. How are you beating inflation? Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And click that notification bell to be notified when I upload videos. God bless. And remember, stay safe and keep prepping.